Mr. Ramakrishnan. He is from Raksha Technologies. He is here to answer the questions that have been raised in the previous session that we had. We had concerns regarding Zoom. So over the last 24 hours, Mr. Santosh and his office team and I have individually at some level have worked towards identifying what is the alternative that we can have for Zoom, especially because you are worried that Zoom is not a very secure platform. Also because the government has given an advisory about Zoom. So we wanted to explore and understand what we can do to shift to some other platform. In that process, we got in touch with someone who is in cyber securities. Raksha Technologies is a company that is in cyber securities. They sell, they service, and they cater to the requirement of large corporates or organization dependent on staying connected to secure their equipment. So I'll just hand over to Mr. Ramakrishnan if he is ready, and he'll probably take us through a small presentation of his company, and then he'll be open to questions. Whatever questions that you have about anything to do with cybersecurity, you can ask him. Mr. Ramakrishnan, are you ready to proceed, sir?
Yes, thanks, John.
Go ahead.
A very good afternoon, just a few seconds away from good afternoon to all of you. And it's been a pleasure to address a good gathering. Can you allow me to share the screen, please?
You're allowed.
Okay. Yes, I am allowed, yes. Yes, I hope everyone is able to see the screen.
Yes, right.
Yes. So the longing question that everybody keeps asking is, are you safe? So to the answer that in very short is, yes, we are all safe, no doubt about it. And straight to the point, see, Raksha Technologies, I'll just keep it 1 minute. We have been in this industry for 19 long years, it's 20 years now. And we are authorized resellers for various brands which deal with IT security solutions. So we sell as well as we also provide service. So that's our key, and we provide this type of services to various corporates as well as organizations who require it at various levels in their IT network. This is pertaining to majorly IT network. Now coming to your key concern, is Zoom safe or unsafe? Now a lot of people have this concern. To put it in very short and keeping it simple, it depends on how we are using it. Okay, it's not that there are a lot of applications, right? We use a lot of applications. It's not one application that is there in our mobile or desktop. Say for example, TikTok, is it safe or unsafe? Now it's all dependent on how we use it. So if you have it in your mobile, then it's you're likely to get hacked. You're likely. It's not that you would, but it all depends on how we are using it. The same way it's Zoom. There are a few points which I would like to just highlight as to how Zoom can be used majorly for the host who is using it. It's not too much relevant to the participants, because the participants are under the control of the hosts. Okay. Anybody has any questions, they can feel free to ask. It's you don't have to wait till the session is over or anything like that. You can stop and ask me.
Mr. Ramakrishna, I would request you if you can also simultaneously speak in Tamil also, because there are many people over there who would understand better in Tamil also. See, because we can read in English. We can read in English your presentation. Yeah.
Great. I'll do that.
Thank you.
I hope so far whatever I have இது வரைக்கும் சொன்னது எல்லாமே இங்கிலீஷ்ல சொன்னதுனால எல்லாருக்கும் ஓரளவுக்கு புரிஞ்சிருக்கும்னு நினைக்கிறேன். I hope I'll continue in Tamil further. Is there anywhere that I need to just give you some insights? அதாவது உங்களுக்கு சொல்லணுமா? Otherwise I'll proceed.
Please.
Hello.
Yes. Zoom எந்த அளவுக்கு சேஃப் அப்படின்னு நீங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னா, ஒரு சிம்பிளா ஒரு 10 டிப்ஸ்னு நாங்க I have just jotted it down, ஒரு லிஸ்ட் டவுன் பண்ணிருக்கேன். ஓகே, ஃபர்ஸ்ட் பாயிண்ட் வந்து for every meeting create a new schedule and a password for every meeting. That is critical. See, Zoom மாதிரி நிறைய இருக்கு. There is something called GoToMeeting. There is something called Skype. So இந்த மாதிரி நிறைய இருக்கு. Why is it that Zoom மட்டும் ஏன் வந்து ரொம்ப பிரபலமா அப்படியே பேசப்படுறது அப்படின்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா, Zoom is giving around it's taking very less resource. உங்களோட இன்டர்நெட் இது ஸோ எல்லாமே இட்ஸ் டேக்கிங் வெரி லெஸ் ரிசோர்ஸ் ஐ மீன் தி உங்களோட சிஸ்டமோட ஒர்க்கிங் ஆஸ் வெல் அஸ் உங்க மொபைலோட எஃபெக்டிவ்னஸ் எல்லாமே அது வந்து கம்மியாக தான் எடுத்துக்குது. அதனால Zoom is majorly seen as a very popular type of video conferencing tool. Okay, so remember when you are scheduling a meeting, ensure நீங்க வந்து ஒரு பாஸ்வேர்டு கொடுக்கணும். ஸோ தட் த பார்ட்டிசிபென்ட் ஹூஸ் ஜாயினிங், யார் ஜாயின் பண்றாங்களோ அவங்க வந்து பாஸ்வேர்டு இல்லாம ஜாயின் பண்ண முடியாது. சே ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் நான் கிளிக் பண்ணும்போது ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்கா நான் ஜாயின் பண்ணிட்டேன். ஐ ஷுட் நாட் பி அலவுட் டு ஜாயின் வித்வுட் டைப்பிங் இன் த பாஸ்வேர்ட். அது அந்த மாதிரி இருக்கணும். தட் இஸ் ஹவு த ஹோஸ்ட் ஷுட் என்ஷூர் தட் எனி பார்ட்டிசிபென்ட் அடிஷனலா யாரா ஜாயின் பண்ணாங்கன்னா தே ஷுட் ஜாயின் ஒன்லி வித் அ பாஸ்வேர்ட். Then sign in registered users into weekly meetings. That is sign in ஆயிருக்காங்க, அவங்களுக்கு வந்து ஒரு யூசர் நேம் பாஸ்வேர்ட் அவங்க கிரியேட் பண்ணிருக்கணும். இட்ஸ் ஆல்வேஸ் குட். இப்போ ஜிமெயில் ஒருத்தர் அனுப்புறாங்கன்னா, ஜிமெயில பாத்தீங்கன்னா நான் வந்து ஒரு மெயில் அனுப்புறேன், அது ஜிமெயில வந்து சம்டைம்ஸ் இட் வில் கோ அண்ட் சிட் இன் ஸ்பேம். ஏன் அந்த மாதிரி உட்காருது அப்படின்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா, I may not be a regular user of Gmail or I may be a Yahoo user. Sometimes அந்த மெயில் வந்து Gmail வந்து ரெகக்னைஸ் பண்ண மாட்டாங்க. So that is why it goes into a spam. It is not deleted. It is sitting in spam. You can always release it. நீங்க ஃபீல் பண்ணீங்கன்னா it is safe அப்படின்னு நீங்க ஃபீல் பண்ணீங்கன்னா you can release it. Similarly, just recommend உங்க டீம்ல யாராவது ஒரு யூசர் நேம் பாஸ்வேர்ட் வந்து கிரியேட் பண்ணிக்க சொல்லுங்க. There is nothing wrong in that. ஹோஸ்ட் ஜாயின் பண்றதுக்கு முன்னாடி பார்ட்டிசிபென்ட் ஜாயின் பண்ணக்கூடாது. There is an option available in Zoom. ஹோஸ்ட் ஜாயின் பண்ணின அப்புறம் தான் மற்ற பார்ட்டிசிபென்ட்ஸ் எல்லாம் ஜாயின் பண்ணோம் அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு ஆப்ஷன் வைக்கலாம். ஸோ தட் இஸ் ஆல்சோ ஈக்குவலி குட். ஸோ தட் பார்ட்டிசிபென்ட்ஸ் டோன்ட் பிளே அரவுண்ட். இட் இஸ் நாட் தட் எவ்ரிபடி வுட் டூ தட், பட் இட் இஸ் குட் டு ஹேவ் சச் அ சினாரியோ. எல்லாரும் ஜாயின் பண்ணின அப்புறம் there is an option in Zoom where you can lock the meeting. It is something like எல்லா மீட்டிங்குள்ள போன அப்புறம் அந்த மீட்டிங் ஹாலை லாக் பண்றோம். எல்லாம் லாக் பண்ணிட்டு தான் the any other person can join அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு சினாரியோ you can make that happen. You can lock that meeting once you feel all the participants have joined. Then screen sharing option. Ipo na vandu I have to request for a screen sharing before I can share anything, any screen or anything of that sort. So you can disable all the participants apart from the host. In case edavadhu oru file share pannanum feel pannீங்கன்னா, it is always good that that file is sent to the host and then he shares it. That is also possible. அந்த மாதிரியும் பண்றது it is good practice, and that will help in ensuring that the proper measures is maintained, especially if that particular participant who is sharing that file has a malicious content in his file, then that is likely to get executed. அதாவது ஒரு malicious ஃபைல் நான் சொல்றது வந்து தேவையில்லாத ஃபைல், அந்த ஃபைல் வந்து ஆக்டிவேட் ஆகிறதுக்கு வாய்ப்புகள் இருக்கு. It is not that நடக்கும்னு சொல்லல, இதெல்லாம் வாய்ப்புகள் இருக்கு. Then again, ஒவ்வொரு தடவையும் மீட்டிங் ஐடி கிரியேட் பண்ணும்போது don't use the same meeting ID, use a randomly generated meeting ID. Waiting rooms, it's similar to something like not to allow the host to join. It's something like waiting room irundna, there is an option in Zoom, waiting rooms, where he will have to wait before in case host join பண்றதுக்கு முன்னாடி அவங்களா வந்துட்டாங்கன்னா the participants can wait in the waiting rooms. Same as screen sharing, file sharing in chat box, அது வந்து disable பண்ணி வைக்கணும். Somebody shares a photo or ஏதாவது ஒரு particular Excel file, Word file, இதெல்லாம் வந்து chat boxல போடாம maybe to your common email IDs எல்லாருக்கும் அனுப்புற மாதிரி you can this is not to be done in the chat box, it has to be sent through email. அந்த மாதிரி வைக்கலாம். Then attendees, somebody uses attendees, and what we mean is somebody else may join knowing your meeting IDs. So some people whom you don't require, they may be joining. So the host has the admin has the right to, he has got the rights wherein he can remove attendees. And most important, Zoom software as such, நீங்க close பண்ணும்போது meeting close பண்ணும்போது it will ask for certain updates. Please update that. It is nothing to do with, it's always safe, and it's good that the software is updated, because in case there are any bugs ங்கிற சொல்றது வந்து there is some sort of vulnerability. So ஏதாவது ஒரு vulnerability இருந்ததுன்னா அந்த vulnerability எல்லாம் address பண்ணிருப்பாங்க. Because being such a popular software, these companies don't just like that leave it unattended. அவங்க வந்து they also work backend to ensure that this software is becoming even more popular and very user friendly for all the people. So please update. It is good that you keep all softwares updated. It is it should be a mandate in vechukanga. Okay, and that's it from myself. And thank you for this opportunity to John. And any questions, please feel free to address it. இது வந்து not necessarily for Zoom, but for any other requirements in உங்களோட doubts நான் சொல்லுவேன். So that you have anything of that sort, please.
Mr. Ramakrishna, I have a question. If you can go to the previous slide.
Yeah.
Okay, the first one, it says always set a password for each meeting. Now, since if you are setting the meeting on the recurring basis, then the password and that thing remains the same. So what you are suggesting is that we should not check the recurring meeting button checkbox.
Recurring, you could check it. Okay, it is something like you are given an option. Okay, whether you can have it as recurring or leave it as, because every day you cannot create a new schedule. It's not that's not our job, kind of. So that's why you are given an option of recurring.
Yeah.
And it is always safe, just like the way it is told that for your please keep changing your ATM number, or please keep changing your bank internet banking passwords. Similarly, it is also advisable and safe to keep changing the passwords regularly, maybe a weekly. So you have an option, right, where you can recur it for 7 days or 1 month, whatever. So same way you can recur it just for a limited period.
Okay, the other one is point number 3 and 4. The 3, it says do not allow others to join before the host. They are in the waiting room. That is okay, right? Like in our meetings, I am the host and they are all waiting.
Yes.
And the 4th one, it says lock your meeting. So I tried this one, but when you're locking the meeting, then nobody else is able to join. So we have to set up a time, isn't it?
Yes.
That you can, that's for such and such meeting. For the next 15 minutes, people can join in. After that, you will not be allowed to join. Correct?
Or they will have to contact you. In case they want to join, they will have to contact the admin or whoever is the host. That's it. That they are waiting and they would want to join. See, we are not nobody is ready to close the doors just because they are 5 minutes late or something. They have their own challenges why they are late, right?
Yes. So maybe you can just give them a buffer time for at least 10 minutes or maybe 12 minutes. And after that, while sending the meeting request, maybe you can just mention that in bold over there that after 10 minutes or 12 minutes, please be on time.
Yes, that's great.
Any other question, anyone, since we are all concerned about Zoom? Santosh sir?
Mr. Ramakrishnan just had one doubt. Somebody had raised this. Once a guest logs in and our Zoom is hacked, is it true that from our IP address, they're able to take out all the information that is stored on our laptop or on our phones? Is it true?
To some extent, yes. Okay. Why? Because the hacker is more interested in what is going around. Usually the hacker's habit is just to sit and watch, unless he has a previous intent, because it's been the first time that he's seeing new people. So what he'll do is he will get to know their maybe some password, or he will try to get into somebody else's mobile through some password which is there. But if say I have logged in with you, okay, and a hacker has already hacked me, there is very little chances that he will be able to get into your mobile unless and until you are sharing something to me, which might be of a password or something. Okay, it's not through the IP address that he can get into you. He can only sit and watch you through me.
How does one know we are, for example, now we're in a meeting, now somebody is hacking us. How does a host know that we are getting hacked? Is there any way of knowing, or after only the damage is done?
If the host is a little careful, some unwanted actions, like suppose right now there is nothing that is happening in the screen, right? Then suddenly the other co-host, if he suddenly logged out, or there are two other people who are not at all part of your team start logging in, okay, and you try and find out what's happening. So there are certain unwanted actions that keep happening. If you find that, or in the host's system, if suddenly the screen is minimized, these are some of the actions that the host can identify by which his system is hacked.
So what happens when it's hacked? Does the host immediately shut down the whole meeting?
It's good to shut down. It is advisable that it's shut down and he gets disconnected from the internet. Okay, that is the immediate action that he can take. The other thing is, most of the time, a person does not know that he is hacked, because just like any layman, a layman would never know, because unless he is tech savvy, it's very rarely that a person gets it, because there are major organizations themselves are not aware that they get hacked. So when we talk of a layman or a person who is not so tech savvy, I think I'm too much of English. ரொம்ப டெக்னாலஜியை பத்தி தெரியாம இருக்காங்கன்னா அவங்களுக்கு வந்து இது வந்து புதுசா இருக்கும். அவங்களுக்கு தெரியறதுக்கு கூட வாய்ப்பு இல்லாம இருக்கும். That is the scenario. Okay, but the point is, the hacking-ங்கிறதே வந்து ஒரு, he wants to know what you are doing. He does not do something உங்களுக்கு தேவையில்லாததை பண்ண மாட்டான், உட்காந்து பார்த்துட்டே இருப்பான். When he finds that yes, I have, எனக்கு வந்து உங்களோட ஒரு particular password வந்து எனக்கு கிடைச்சிருச்சு, through which I can get into your other confidential data அப்படின்னு அவனுக்கு ஃபீல் பண்ணி, he feels it is important, அவனுக்கு அது இன்ட்ரெஸ்டிங்கா பட்டுதுன்னா மட்டும்தான் he will continue in your system or your IP, whatever. Otherwise he will just walk away. அவங்களுக்கு இன்ட்ரெஸ்டிங்கா இருக்கணும். இப்போ நான் என்னோட பேங்க் அக்கௌண்ட்ல வந்து நான் வந்து 10 கோடி ரூபாய் வச்சிருக்கேன். ஆனா டெய்லி அவன் பாக்குறான், என்ன இவருக்கு டெய்லி ஒரு அக்கௌண்ட்ல 1 கோடி ரூபாய் வந்துட்டே இருக்கு, எங்க இருந்து வருது அப்படின்னு அவன் ஃபீல் பண்ணானா, அந்த 1 கோடி ரூபாவை he will want to divert it to a different source. அப்போ that is interesting for him. அவன் என்ன பண்ணுவான், he will try to somehow capture my bank password. அதுக்காக வெயிட் பண்ணுவான். he will wait for 6 months also. அந்த சிஸ்டம்ல என்ன பேங்க் பாஸ்வேர்டை போடுற வரைக்கும் he will wait. The moment he captures that, then he will be more, அதுக்கப்புறம் தான் his actions will start. அது வரைக்கும் it will be wait and watch. For that matter, நீங்க நிறைய மூவிஸ்ல பார்த்துக்கலாம், it is purely waiting தான். There are people who sit and watch, like sleeper cells மாதிரி. துப்பாக்கி படத்துல sleeper cells பாத்தீங்களா, they are waiting, that's it. For how long? அது never ending, no time.
Ramakrishna, see, I have one question, very important question. Now, see, we are using different kind of antiviruses in our system.
Great.
Okay, like Quick Heal or any other, like Norton.
Yes.
Now,
yes,
how does that help? Because why I'm asking this question, I am actually trying to connect Zoom and our normal working on internet. Like right now, the concern is about Zoom, because what is happening, the blame is that Zoom is sharing our personal information, is selling the data to other companies, right?
Okay.
Now, even if I'm not using Zoom, if I'm on internet, then also there is a possibility that somebody can hack into my system, can if I'm on a bank site or any other site, they can hack my passwords and do other stuff.
Yes.
But right now, what we are talking about Zoom, that they are going to share the data. So this is, I'm sure, will be possible with other platforms also, like WebEx. We have Ring Central. We have GoToMeeting. We have Teams. We have Skype. So why is it only Zoom, or is it a corporate war that is going on, and we are all getting crushed?
No, Zoom has become popular because they are providing various open source platforms. It was initially a open source platform.
Hmm.
Okay, any open source platform will have vulnerabilities. Okay, which people don't know.
What do you mean by open source, sir?
Open source is something free of cost.
But then otherwise, Skype is also free of cost for at least 50 people.
Again, why I said initially, if you just notice, Zoom does not take much of your resources, which is internet resource or your system resource. So that way, Zoom has become very popular and it's easy to install. Now you install a Skype, you need to have a meeting ID and your system resources get occupied or taken for too much. It takes too much of a time. So that is the reason why Zoom has become very popular. And you might have antivirus in your system, which is good. And the Zoom does not actually sell their data. They also have an NDA, which is a non-disclosure agreement. Okay, when we sign in, all that happens. It's only when something or somebody hacks it, that data, whichever data he has got his hands on, that data is sold out. For that matter, no open source is safe. Say, suppose you are having a Gmail ID. Most of us have a Gmail ID. I have a Gmail ID. Are we safe? It's a question mark. Only Sundar Pichai has to answer that. Okay, so they can very well, they have a lot of data of ours in Gmail, which is also connected with Facebook and also connected with LinkedIn. All the data is all are open source. Now they have huge data which is there of ours, which is likely to get compromised. But we are still using it, right?
Yes. So, so in a meeting like us that we are doing on daily basis with our people, ESA people, is it a matter
Yes.
of concern? Because since we are not sharing any financial information, we're just telling them about our company. That's it. Like about my product, about my services. Is it a matter of concern if we are using Zoom and if we are following these 10 steps that you are showing right now on your screen, sir?
Yeah. If you are following everything, you don't have to be worried at all. Even the participants need not be worried. Only when they are using free, that is a non-paid version, and they are using it without certain best practices, then they are likely to get, again, if it is of interest to a hacker, then yes. Otherwise, they don't have to, they just need to follow certain basic rules. For corona not to spread, you need to wear a mask. You need to wash your hands. If these are followed, it's well and good. Otherwise, there is a likely possibility that he is vulnerable. It's not that he will get it, but he is likely. That's it. So similarly, if you are using a paid version, I can assure you that yes, you are quite safe, because as an organization and as a cybersecurity organization, we are using Zoom and we follow certain procedures.
So there is one question in the chat box. It
Yes,
says,
please.
does Zoom's iOS app gives an extra scope of security, or is it just a myth?
Anything on iOS, I can tell you, you can be really, you are 100% safe, because those companies pay Apple. So, whereas in an Android platform, if it is hosted on an Android platform, it is free of cost. But in an iOS, if it is there, he can be rest assured. For example, Cam Scanner. I hope most of you would have heard about Cam Scanner. And Cam Scanner was removed from Android, but it was continuing in iOS. And it's again come back in Android post fixing multiple bugs. It had a Trojan, which was it was very, very dangerous at that time. And a lot of people actually removed it from their Android mobiles. So same way, if you are using an iOS and it is there in iOS for mobile phones, they can be really rest assured that yes, they are safe.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ram.
Yes.
Anybody has any questions pertaining to Zoom?
Are you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I am Ganesh. Sir, one more question. Actually, Android mobile. Are you hear me? No.
Yeah,
Android mobile already நம்ம வந்து Gmail ல login பண்ணி
I have a question. My name is Mujib.
I am already taking a question from Mr. Ganesh. I will surely take your question post his question, sir.
Yeah. அது Gmail ஆல்ரெடி நம்ம லாகின் பண்ணி தான் வச்சிருப்போம். ஸோ ஆண்ட்ராய்டு மொபைல் சேஃப் கிடையாது. இந்த மீட்டிங்ல வந்து நான் என்னுடைய லேப்டாப்லயோ இல்லை பிசிலையோ நான் இன்ஸ்டால் பண்ணியிருக்கேன். இப்போ வந்து ஜாயின் மீட்டிங் போயிட்டு நான் லாகின் பண்ணாம ஜாயின் மீட்டிங் போறது தானே சேஃப், இல்ல இருந்து நான் சைன் இன் பண்ணணுமா? ஒரு முறை சைன் இன் பண்ணி போறது சேஃபா?
மொபைல்ல நீங்க மெயில்ஸ் பாக்கிறதுனால
இல்ல நான் அன்இன்ஸ்டால் பண்ணிட்டேன். இது சேஃப் கிடையாதுன்னு சொல்லிட்டு நான் அன்இன்ஸ்டால் பண்ணிட்டேன் ஆல்ரெடி. அதனால நான் என்னோட லேப்ல பாத்துட்டு இருக்கேன். லேப்ல வந்து ஒவ்வொரு முறையும் சைன் இன் பண்ணி வச்சுக்கணுமா, இல்ல ஒன்லி ஜாயின் மீட்டிங் மட்டும் போயிட்டு போறது இன்னும் சேஃப் இல்லையா?
See, if you are நீங்க மட்டும் தான் அந்த லேப்டாப் யூஸ் பண்றீங்கன்னா நீங்க சைன் இன் பண்ணலாம், சைன் இன் பண்ணி வச்சுக்கலாம், அதெல்லாம் பிரச்சனை இல்லை. as long as நீங்க லேப்டாப்பை ஓபன் பண்ணும்போது டைரக்டா லாகின் ஆகாம அதுக்கு ஒரு இனிஷியல் பாஸ்வேர்டு கொடுத்து தான் லாகின் பண்ற மாதிரி இருக்குன்னா which is fine.
Okay, right.
Okay. Similarly in mobile also உங்களோட Gmail அக்கவுண்ட்ல நீங்க சைன் இன் பண்ணியே இருக்கலாம். ஆனா அந்த Gmail அந்த ஐகானை கிளிக் பண்ணின உடனே பாஸ்வேர்டு கேக்குற மாதிரி நீங்க செட் பண்ணி வச்சிருந்தீங்கன்னா it is safe to it is not a problem. நீங்க வந்து 4 digit பாஸ்வேர்டோ இல்ல உங்களோட அந்த டிசைன் பேட்டர்ன் பாஸ்வேர்டு அந்த மாதிரி ஏதாவது கொடுக்கலாம். இது ஒவ்வொரு ஆப்பையும் நீங்க வந்து லாக் பண்ணி வைக்கலாம். தட் இஸ் ஆல் பாசிபிள்.
ஓகே.
சோ இது வந்து நீங்க மொபைல்ல யூஸ் பண்ண கூடாதுன்னு யாரும் சொல்லல, தாராளமா யூஸ் பண்ணலாம். உங்களோட மொபைல்ல யூ கேன் கண்டினியூ யூசிங் Gmail.
ஓகே. சரி சார். ஓகே, thank you sir. Thank you.
Welcome sir. Sir, yaro somebody else wanted to ask a question. I had to stop him. Sorry.
Yeah. So we take one last question, sir.
Yes.
You can go ahead, sir.
Can I ask a question, please?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Mujib. Now, most of the apps when we open, it's a layman question.
Please.
Most of the apps when we open, they ask a question. Allow us to share. How safe is that? Your photos, your contacts.
Correct.
So they say that once you allow them to share, our data can be hacked. How far is this true?
You are just allowing them to share your whatever
photograph,
media,
yes.
camera. There are multiple things that you are allowing them to share, right?
Correct.
Doesn't mean that they will share that data. Okay. It does not mean that they share the data. It all depends on how badly you need that application. Okay. It all depends on how badly you need that application. Now, you are in a WhatsApp. Do you need WhatsApp? I would say yes, we need WhatsApp. So we have to allow WhatsApp to access our camera, our contacts, everything. There might be a TikTok. Now, would I allow TikTok to access my camera and contacts or various other media? I don't need TikTok for my business purposes or even for my personal purposes. So is it very critical that I use TikTok? No. So it all depends on what is that particular criticality or the importance of the application that you want in your mobile.
In that case, there is a possibility of getting hacked if you go into the wrong.
You
site.
are not possible. It is not that you would get hacked. It is if the hacker hacks that particular application, your data could be shared. That's it.
Okay, that's quite dangerous, or it's okay?
Yes, no, it is dangerous, no doubt. Just like the way I just told you, right? Cam scanner.
Yeah.
Cam scanner had a Trojan. The Trojan is a malware. So the moment Cam scanner is compromised, everybody's data is likely to get shared. So the moment that is done, they will have to remove it from their mobile phones. That is safe.
Yeah, today even the bankers allow us to share your location.
Yes.
When I say no, I'm not able to access my account at all.
Correct. You have to share the location for that particular payment of GPay or whatever. Then again you can disable it. It is possible.
But during that short span, nothing can happen. Bad?
Nothing. It will not impact your. Nothing will happen in that short time.
And one last question.
Please.
The Zoom threat is only because being handled by Chinese, or it's a myth only?
It's a myth. Zoom. See, everybody has their headquarters in US only, and whatever Zoom is not a Chinese company.
But they said it's a Chinese company. Somebody was saying it's a Chinese company. You want to hack all their records.
No, it's not 100% true.
Okay, thank you. Thanks a lot, sir. Thanks a lot. It's a great pleasure listening to you.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Okay, with that, we've come to the last part of our session. If anybody has one last question, I'll allow that. Otherwise, we are totally out of time. Okay, so I think with that, we'll close today's session. Mr. Ramakrishnan, thank you very much for having taken the time, though we have given you